Save 8% off your order at TrueTechTools.com by using the Shop Talk discount code. Well, welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk, everybody. Man, what a great day to be alive. What a great day to be a man in America, just on the internet streaming. To all your internet friends out there, like Thomas Leck. I see you're out there, Thomas, and I salute you. You may see some new things on the screen here. That is because we are going back to the other platform I used to stream from, the one with 1,000 buttons and does the most stuff. So might as well take this stuff seriously and break out the 1,000 buttons and do the most stuff. We might even have skilled trade up during one of these episodes. Who knows? It could get crazy on here. Could get real crazy, but it could be real fun as well. I hope it's fun. I think it'll be fun. The thing is, it took a lot to get this stuff all put back together with all the monitors and stuff like that. And there's a 92% chance that a certain cord's not plugged in right. Or maybe there's going to be bombs going off in the middle of this thing. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure, but I do believe it's probably going to work okay. All right, so if you're out there in the chat, I see we have a few chatters. Go ahead and chat it up. I will go ahead and let you guys know that I think for tomorrow, I'm going to stream earlier in the day. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad for whoever's listening to this, but I think I'm going to do earlier in the day, perhaps like 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to be late enough in the morning so our West Coast brothers can tune in if they want to, because right now it's, 1:49 in California? And I know that in the morning, if I go live at 11, it's going to be at 8 o'clock a.m. California time, which is going to be bright and early in the morning. So I don't want to put anybody out, but I do want to say that I'm probably going to do it in the morning tomorrow. I'll try to make that event tonight. I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, but that's what I'm going to try to do. Had all this great stuff I was going to do. Didn't have time to load it all up because I'm putting the ceiling in this place above me now. So the insulation fibers won't dig into my brain and cause some sort of what I assume is a carcinogenic effect. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's not done, but from here over is finished. So I got half a ceiling. The mini split's running because the insulation's in the ceiling and it blocks off most of the gaps. I don't know, like 85% of the gaps. You can tell I'm not building performance material because, I say 80% of the gaps are closed. Hey, we're good. We're good. We're going to be fine. I know I wanted to bring up some of the comments that I had. I don't think I got them all downloaded yet, which is a pain in the buttocks, but I really like this stuff because we had a commenter on YouTube, and this was on the going from brazing to using a press tool video that I did a couple days ago, and it's called The Service Call That Made Albert Want a Press Tool, and the commenter's name is 741776. And I wish Nick was here because I half believe it's like Nick's alternate account. He's such a patriot, so he's probably 741776, I'm assuming. But the guy just said Albert seems like a pretty cool dude. You can tell he cares. And I think that's really nice when someone takes time to say that, because a lot of times we take the time to bust balls when we're out there in our daily lives, but we don't take the time to say, hey man, that looks like a pretty cool dude. And I agree. I think he's a pretty good dude. I've released some of the shorter videos about Albert's back surgery. And then NorCal actually chimed in on that and said that he had surgery too, and it fixed him right as rain. Because as I recall, a long time ago, whenever Ralph and I interviewed NorCal, he said that he hurt his back one time and was cleaning coils in an L shape, which sounds really, really bad to me. That sounds like an awful, awful thing. One thing I'm going to do a little bit earlier in the show now is I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the screen, which is Call Now, which anyone can call. I have my phone sitting up here, and I hope I do see you if you do call. I know we don't have a whole lot of chatters in there just yet, but if you want to call, you can do so. I have another comment here. I'm going to read it. It's from Kangaroo God, one of our frequent flyer commenters, and it says, NFPA 70, National Electric Code, requires 30 inches width and 36 inches depth for service. This also applies to disconnects, like for your HVAC units. Every disconnect that is installed behind a condenser is not code compliant. This is the reason that most manufacturers do not have corner access. Most manufacturers not have corner access, so it allows the unit to be mounted with 2 of possible 4 orientations instead of 1. So the fact that the manufacturers put the little deal in the corner, the electrical access, makes it a little bit easier for people to mount it in different locations. So I thought that was pretty cool. And you know, no one does this stuff with the disconnects. I don't know if the inspectors just stopped caring at some point. Inspectors, sometimes you look at the inspectors like, this guy, he's gone. Like his soul is dead. He just doesn't care any longer. And there's some people I've met, they just don't care. It's like, hey, man, all right, this is passing. It's like, hey, what are you talking about? It's passing. It's like there's half the system isn't finished yet. We've had jobs pass that we were working on the duct system when the inspector arrived. Now, having said that, that's fine with me. That's okay. I don't care. I'd much rather have that guy than the guy that's like, is that drained? Does it have 1/8 inch or 1/8 inch fall per foot? He's out there with like a microscope or something. I'd rather have the lax guy than the 1/8 inch guy any day of the week. See, I know we had a couple more comments here too. Let me see if I actually... Oh, this was Thomas's comment, actually, since he was here. This is perfect. So this is Thomas Leck. So they got to make up some code. And this is on designing a duct system. They got to make up some code that is strictly enforced a minimum crawl space height of 4 foot. I like this comment already. A minimum crawl space height of 4 foot. And let's see, I've run into how many crawl spaces like that? Probably like 0. 0 crawl spaces ever. I'll keep reading, though, even though this is about unicorns and fantasy. With a finished, polished concrete floor with built-in knee padding floor matting. Yep, see, this is never going to happen. I've had the larger crawl spaces. I've had the concrete floors in crawl spaces, but the knee padding, that really puts it into that outlandish unicorn area. I wish that it existed, but it just doesn't. Thomas says, we don't have many areas in my area of San Francisco that have anything like this underneath. I was offered one job like this, and I just plain old told him I was too busy to do it. That was my excuse, and I walked away. Nice. Hey, crawl spaces can be some of the worst places on earth. Because when you're in my area, eastern, southern North Carolina, you'll have these houses that were built. It looks like the Revolutionary War happened while they were building these houses. They look so old. And they have a crawl space of like 12 inches, 18 inches. And in some of these things, I mean, some of them you can't put ductwork in, but some of them you can technically put ductwork in. And when you have your father on the outside of the crawl space and you were on the inside of the crawl space, that same outside of the crawl space father will say, yeah, we can do this job. As we, as in you guys are going to do it, and I'm going to be out here drawing little lines on paper where the trunk's going to go. It's going to be all rectangular ducts, of course. It's going to be a bunch of 30 by 8 rectangular duct is the devil. I'm just going to tell you that. It's a devil. It's too wide. It's too weak. The stock stuff that they sell like Johnstone and stuff, it's just 30 inches is way too far. Even with the cross break for the gauge of metal that I've seen them use. I don't know what gauge it is. I mean, I don't think it's super, super light. It can't be. But it is definitely one of the lighter gauge metals out there as far as what you would make ductwork out of. And putting this stuff in the crawl space, I mean, you have 2 guys on it. You're trying to tape across the joints, and you can hardly reach across it. Sometimes it's up against the crawl space wall. It's like the worst, because then you can't have your other guy on the other side. Then you have to slide it on the S-locks, put it in, and try to hit the drive cleat from underneath it or something. For those of you on the podcast, I just simulated a gunshot to the head. It's horrible. It's horrible. Let's take a little break here. Let's go to the chat. Steve says, hey, Zach, cleaning condenser coil? blower wheel, replacing capacitors, contactors. Do you know the full Monty? Wow, okay. Pretty cool. Very nice, Steve. Well, I hope I can keep you company while you're doing that. That is a lot of stuff. So why are you, if you are able to answer, why are you doing all of that stuff to the same unit? Is just all those things are bad, or is it just like a check and clean and spritz up while you're there, or what? I know that capacitors are pretty common to fail. Everyone out here knows that. That's like the thing that is most easily spotted. And what I like is, and we'll make it back to the crawl spaces, guys. What I like is you'll have someone call you, like a family member. It's like, hey, bro, my unit's not working. It's blowing on the inside, but it's blowing warm air. And on the outside, it just goes, buh, buh. And I'll be like, it's just the hardest thing to figure out in the world. So I think, just judging from what you've told me, I've deduced that it is a run capacitor. Then I'll go over to their house, and I'll see that it's a run capacitor. I'll change it. It's like, hey, this guy knew the whole time it was a run capacitor. That's awesome. There's a bug on my camera. Get off there. All right. So you look like a hero. It's fantastic. I really hope that mute works while I cough there. Hey, Jessica, what's up? Hey, we ought to have Jessica call in. Jessica, what are you doing? We need some callers on the air to discuss some things, right? To go back to talking about the crawl space again, which is fine with me. I can go into Pharaoh Kitty. Pharaoh Kitty was a bad day. I can go into Pharaoh Kitty, Copperhead Day, the time the snake crawled into the cinder block, the other time the snake crawled into the cinder block, and then the third time that I saw a snake and just ran away. Because I'm like Indiana Jones, guys. And none of the brave ways or courageous ways, but just like afraid of snakes. And when you're in a crawl space and you look over and you see the head of a snake come up, then it goes back down again and disappears, that's like a daggone horror movie. And I don't want to be part of anything like that. I've actually excluded myself from jobs like, it ain't happening. I'm not sitting here like living in danger with these snakes and stuff that could pop out at any time and grab onto your neck and just latch onto it. I'm petrified of snakes. I would rather fight a man with weapons than go after a snake. I mean, literally, I would rather be in a situation where someone was trying to mug me at an ATM machine than have to try to catch and hold a snake or try to kill a snake or something. Unless I have a weapon. I guess if I have a weapon, it's different because I'll just stand far away and blow his head off with a shotgun. That's different. Clint Glasgow says, my wife caught that snake. Yeah, my wife catches the snakes in our family, too. Jessica says it's called a nope rope. Interesting. Huh. And Steve said his unit was a very neglected system on a first-time PMA customer. Wow. I'm sitting here, I'm doing my program, and I can hear those guineas outside. And I'm not being racist. It's the bird. There's not like a bunch of Italians running around outside going, hey, oh, what's up? Well, I guess that was a little bad. But those guineas run by, and they all go, kick, kick, pip, 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 pip. I crap you not, guys. There's like a squad of them outside. And it's like, oh, Zach is streaming. Let's go make as many weird bird noises as we can. Because these people back here in the back have like, I don't know if they just disregard their neighbors altogether, but they have a crew, and there goes one of those guineas right now. Like, I could sit here and I would love to. But I won't. At least not on the air, I won't. I won't do that. There goes another one. I would love if a plane landed on them bad boys. It just landed on every single one of them. Okay? Let me remind you guys, you can call in right now. If you're someone like Jessica and you're heading to a no cool call, you could call in and talk for a couple minutes. All we're trying to do here is share our stories, guys, and be happy and get through the workday and make it home to our wives so our wives can make us do stuff there. Like take out the garbage. Or why haven't you hung that ceiling fan yet? I'm going to go down my actual list of things. And Frylock says it's nap time. Frylock, come on now. I was going to trust you, man. I'm tell you what, because I started this Discord thing. Oh, look. It's Brandon. Brandon's calling my watch. I forgot to silence my watch, but that's okay, because here we go. And hello, you're on the air.
Howdy. Let me turn this Bluetooth off.
Turn the Bluetooth off. For the love of everything holy.
Yeah, you can probably hear me better now.
Oh, you sound fantastic, Brandon. What's up?
No, I'm just gas piping a furnace right now.
Your gas pipe? Hey, man, you're such a multitasker, man. I really respect you.
Well, yeah, I kind of got corned over today.
What does that mean? What'd you get?
Well, so I was supposed to do this job, and it was supposed to be not this difficult.
Oh, okay.
No,
So what
no,
happened? What was it?
well, so first thing, I got a request yesterday afternoon. Dude wanted specifically me, to come do a service call at his house this morning. And it was in Wheeler. Wheeler's like I don't know, 50-minute drive from my house.
Yeah.
And so I went and did that on a Navian boiler. And then I came to start this job, which I was supposed to do first thing in the morning, but they had me go do that service call instead. And now I'm way behind. I'm rushing to get this thing done before I got to take my kid to church.
Oh, wow, man. So like the other day when you called coming home from the cheese curd factory, it was like 3:30 where you were at. So this is like the opposite now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's unpredictable.
Yeah, it is what it is. It'll be fine probably. All I got left to do is finish this gas up, and then
Hey, we got to take your time, man, and you got to take your time. Make sure you do a good job. You don't need to be calling into a live show during it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. Stay on the line. I mean, if you blow something up, I mean that doesn't affect me any. So I would like you to stay.
Well, this was an interesting job, and our salesman looked at it, and he didn't apparently look hard enough because it's kind of a weird thing. They had which we never see these around here. It was just an air handler with a heat pump. And then somebody had added later on a furnace sitting next to it.
That's
So
weird.
he's in a basement, the heat pump sitting on a box. They just cut a hole in the side of the box and tied the return into the furnace, which sat on the floor next to it. And then they brought the supply up with 390s to tie into the plenum of the heat pump. And then they had a damper they would have to flip back and forth for heat and cool.
Good grief. That's kind of a weird setup.
Yeah, it is a weird setup. And then the salesman looked at it and you all done, Bruce?
Yep.
You gonna go home? I'll see you later.
Yep.
Thanks for the help. All right.
Let's everybody give Bruce a round of applause for his assistance today.
Bruce is an electrician, so
Oh yeah, he just hooked up his wire and left. Okay.
well, we have electricians at our shop too. Where we have a couple electricians, so
Oh, I got you.
he came and did some wiring, and he had a light and stuff for his customer and whatever. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so I had the salesman looked at this job. He's like, "Oh, it's a counterflow unit." I'm like, "Why would they have a counterflow air handler in line with a furnace?" Like, you didn't look at it very close. So instead of, he's like, "Yeah, just tear the air handler out and then just put a new return drop in there. You'll be done easy peasy." I ended up tearing the furnace and the air handler out, sliding the furnace over to where the air handler was sitting, and and to make a bunch of custom sheet metal, and it was way more than he thought.
Nah, man, salesman got it wrong. Shocking.
Our salesman was a tech for 10 years.
Oh, it's double shocking then. He needs to have some sort of prank done on him then. Salesman became a technician. Hey, wait, you've been a technician longer than that. Why aren't you a salesman?
Because I don't want to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, you called the right show. Good job. I'm going to play I can't remember the name. This Weldon Long tape, and you're going to be a salesman, and you're going to make it big time, and you're not going to have to tighten any more gas pipes.
I'd rather tighten the gas pipes because I enjoy it.
I'm with you. At least when you tighten a gas pipe, you go home and you sleep like a baby.
And except for that puppy.
Except for the puppy. What are you talking
He's
about?
keeping us up at night. That's for sure.
Oh, well, you say puppy. How old are the dogs?
Well, Ted is 4, almost 4, but then Stan is only 4.5 months.
Oh, so what's this dog doing in the middle of the night? Just barking?
Yeah. He wants to go outside and take a pee or something.
Oh, man.
2 o'clock in the morning. He wasn't doing it at first, and now he's doing it.
He's just like a human baby. They're having like phases they go through.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man. Yeah, our dog seems to do a lot better now with that as far as the intervals in between when she has to go outside. It seems like it's a long period of time now, which is nice.
Yeah, he'll get better. I hope. He just started doing this, so he must think it's. I've just been ignoring him.
Yeah, it's the attention. He wants your attention, man. You're out there turning gas pipes and stuff. You're supposed to be throwing him sticks and stuff when you get home.
My wife and kid can do that. They're probably home right now.
Now they're binge watching Grey's Anatomy. They ain't throwing sticks to the dog. I mean, the dog's in there going, "Please play with me." They're like, "Be quiet. I can't hear what Meredith is saying."
Well, it must be. What time is it? 4:00 yet? Yeah, it's 4:07. My wife must just be getting home right now from work.
Oh, so she's working. So that whole example was null and void.
Well, I mean, she works at the school with the kids, so that's only a 5-minute drive from home.
Oh man, but working with the kids, that's like the worst. I mean, that's like
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm with you with the gas pipes. If I had to like teach a class or let's say drive a school bus, that would be a nightmare for me. I couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't either. I don't like people enough.
See, I don't like people either, especially a bunch of children. I like my own children, but when other children come around, because I don't have the clearance to go say, let's just say this, discipline them properly. If something happens, I have to kind of take it. I hate it.
See you later, Bruce. No, you can take. Yeah, if you want to take one of the bags, that's fine.
Yeah, Bruce,
Thanks.
get out of here, Bruce. You're done.
No, he's leaving now. He loaded all my stuff in my van for me. He's helping out.
Oh man, I like this Bruce already. Man, he's all right. Bruce Almighty. That's what we'll call him.
Bruce tore his shoulder open, and he's been working. He can't lift his right arm over his head.
Good grief. So how old is Bruce?
About 50.
Oh, so Bruce has been around the block.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's nice.
Bruce, good guy, hard worker. Dude's a really hard worker, good guy. Pretty sure he burned himself out a little bit in his younger days.
They got all quiet there for a second, like Bruce is listening in.
Well, I think he's gone now, but Bruce he's a real great guy, and that's the truth. He's a good guy. Pretty sure he did a lot of drugs when he was younger, though.
Oh, that's how he burned. I didn't know if you were talking about work or something else.
Nah.
So he was on that booger sugar. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what for sure, but like I say, Bruce is a great guy, though. He's a hard worker, a nice guy. So whatever.
I think some of like the best people that you can meet are the people that went the wrongest, if that's even a word, whenever they were younger and then got straightened out, because I think they have a lot of discipline and humility after that. So they're really good people, potentially. Yeah. Like Bruce.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But he don't know how to be. He was willing to help me do stuff, and I'm like, you just go home.
Yeah, it's slower if you help. Not to disregard somebody's intention of being helpful, which is good, but sometimes like people will say, "Hey, you want me to give you a hand on a job?" It's like, no, you know what? Oddly enough, if you give me a hand, it'll actually take longer, and that's not an insult. That's just because you have to stop and say, "Okay, first you got to do this, first you got to do that, and do this," and then by the time that's over, you would have done both things already. It's
so true. Oh no, he took my nipple tray. Oh no, it's right here. Duh.
Good grief. Oh, okay, yeah, gas.
Yes, okay. Gas nipples.
What are we talking about here? Got some awful language here. Pick that up at the cheese curd factory. I just love the fact that there's a cheese curd.
That's
factory.
All roughed in. You got to get yourself some cheese curds and try them. You have never experienced life until you eat a cheese curd.
I'm going to Google it right now. I'm going to get me one of these cheese curds. Certainly, there's North Carolina access to cheese curds.
Well, the best cheese curds are the ones when you chew on them, they squeak.
I don't even know. That's like the mice are still attached to them or something.
No, them are good cheese curds though when they squeak.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see what's going on here. I'm gonna see. Buy them on Google. I don't know if you want to buy cheese on Google, but yep, cheese curds. There they are, right there.
Yeah, just a big hunk of cheese, basically.
It looks like it's like the raw version of like a block of cheese. Like they didn't make the block yet.
And you can eat them. You can eat some raw. You can bread them, and you can deep fry them, or you can deep fry. Yeah.
Dude, it's really right healthy. Here on this page. Breaded white cheese curds. They look fantastic. It looks like when you have like the mozzarella sticks at the restaurant. That's what it looks like.
They're better than mozzarella sticks.
I'm gonna have to try this. Do you make these at your house?
I mean, I have.
Well, what I'm asking you is, what are you breading them with? How do you prepare those? And I will try this.
Well, I don't bread them myself. I just buy them breaded.
Oh, so you buy? Okay, you're like a dude, like the rest of us. Okay, you buy it in a bag and throw it in.
I ain't gonna cook.
Yeah,
I was supposed to cook for my kid last night. So we went to Subway.
Hey, you know what? I found out though, if you're like a dude in modern times, a lot of these dudes, these husbands, they enjoy cooking. They like pride themselves on how they cook. I see that a lot.
Losers.
I don't know why did I don't get some tools and go be a man outside? That sounds too strong. That's just a joke.
I mean, I can cook pizzas and stuff.
Like from scratch pizzas, like you make the dough.
No, like one you buy it and you put in the oven.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can make a Totino's pizza, but I'm not flipping the thing and spinning it on my finger and then putting it into the oven or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far either. I'll make sure my kid has food, but I'm not going to cook actual meal. I cook hamburger helper.
Yeah, I can cook hamburger helper too. But you know what? Okay, once you go to the grill though, the roles switch for some reason. Like my wife is scared of the grill, like the propane. It's like it's gonna explode. It's like, okay, well I got bad news for you in the car then, because you're riding in something that explodes constantly on the inside of it. But I mean, she doesn't seem to care about that. But I mean, she doesn't go to the grill. It's like that's the dude realm. I don't know why that happened that way though.
It seems like most places it's like that, but my wife cooks on the grill too.
Really?
Actually, she just got a Blackstone grill for Christmas. That's what she wanted.
Blackstone grill. That sounds like something that costs a lot of money.
Oh no, the griddle, like the griddles.
Oh,
they're like
griddle.
popular right now.
I got you. I'm looking that up. Griddle. I'm gonna get me one of these things, man. I'll be just like your wife. Blackstone griddle. Oh yeah, man. Some of that stuff is expensive. Blackstone 4-burner liquid propane stove. That's $600. Good,
Yeah,
great.
they're pretty fancy.
I wonder if they got that at Sam's. I had to get the Sam's one. I always see that when I walk by. It's like a giant griddle for outside. Like it seems like it's like too much money to spend on something that's a dedicated griddle when you can just buy a griddle to put on the grill. So I don't know why you'd buy that.
My wife talked my mother-in-law to buy it for her, so.
Oh wow, this must be pretty famous because guys in the chat, Bimco's down there going, "Oh yeah, Blackstone is amazing."
Yeah, I mean they're popular right now.
Wow, you got that thing finished yet?
No.
See, gas line. You know, when you said gas line, I was imagining you were hooking up like the last couple feet into a furnace.
Oh, I did. I tied that in, and then I put the Ward Flex fitting on, and now I'm putting the Ward Flex fitting on up high, and then I'm gonna have to run a piece of Ward Flex in between the two.
Hey, let me give you some Southern advice. You just take that flex right into the furnace and go directly into the gas valve.
That's not code. They had a appliance fitting, or appliance hose ran through it when I got here. Whoever put this in.
Someone from South did that, man, because that's a Southern. You know, we don't need no drip legs. We don't need no hard pipe coming out of the furnace. Just center it on that opening. It's not going to touch the edges. No, just make sure it stays still. And there you go. And that's the South. And we have flex duct. So, I mean, it's a lot easier in the South. We have a lot of explosions, but, you know, besides that.
I'd like the hard pipe for myself just because the whole rest of the house is hard pipe, but I'm going to go home at some point tonight.
Oh, yeah. You got to make the call right there, man. Is it propane?
It's natural gas. It was propane at one time.
So do you ever run like copper and flare it in the stuff?
I have.
Not preferable though.
Well, Ward Flex is a lot faster and easier.
Yeah, you're right about that. Absolutely.
And so we'll run some Ward Flex here. I got all put together. All I gotta do is cut the Ward Flex and piece it in like 8 feet of Ward Flex.
Now spell it. What is it you're saying? What's the first word? What
Ward?
Ward. Okay.
It's like gas tight, but it's a different brand.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It's just the Ward brand of gas tight.
Yeah, I see it here. It's like the exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
That's just what we use because that's what our wholesaler sells.
Yeah, I got you. Like there's 500 different brands of B-Vent, and they all fit together slightly differently.
Yep. And then you can't mix them.
And they get mad when you screw them all together. I'm just kidding. I do not do that. I'm just kidding.
We rarely put more than one piece of B-Vent in anyway. Around here.
Oh, you guys using that single wall?
No, well, yeah, and then you're using one piece of B-Vent with a wall thimble for your to go through for your unit heater, and then or that's about it. And then the rest of it's all high efficiency. The only thing we run a B-Vent for is unit heaters.
Yeah, that's true. We're getting away from all the metal flues now.
Well, I've in the last 5 years, I've probably installed 2 80% efficient furnaces.
What about, do you guys do like water heaters and stuff too?
I'm put one in tomorrow.
So are you putting in high efficiency water heaters too?
I mean, it really depends. Most of the time, you just put in whatever's in there.
Yeah,
So
I
if
guess.
it's a gravity, you put in a gravity, and if it's a power vent, you put a power vent, or electric to electric.
Yeah, I like that. It's like it's normal real world stuff. We don't go changing the world. You just kind of just do like for like.
Yeah.
Except for this house you're in now. Yet you can't really go back with that stuff because that whole design is illogical. Poor Brandon.
Man, I should like work out more or something.
It's too late. It's too late for that. I mean, like you're in the trade now. You have to wait till you retire to even work out.
You know, my mom bought me and my wife a year's gym membership. So we've been trying to go 3 times a week, but I didn't go last week because I was working out at the cheese curd factory. So I was getting up really early.
Yeah.
And there's a 0% chance I'm going to go after work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, well, that's a wonderful gift that will, you use like twice. You'd be like, you're in there pumping iron, like I'm bench pressing. I wonder what max is going to be in about a month, and then you never go back.
I mean, I'll go before work, but I ain't never going to go after work.
Man, what time you got to go to the gym to go before work?
I get up at 4:30 usually.
4:30
on gym days.
Man, oh man! Even when I get up early, I don't get up that early.
I gotta get up. We gotta get back in time to get the kid ready and stuff. So.
Oh gosh, that's tough, man. So what time do you go to bed?
10:30.
That's about right. I mean, you get the same amount of sleep. I get about, well, I have the opportunity to get 6 hours unless I lay there for a while. But yeah, it's about the same.
I wake up constantly at night because I probably wake up 10 times every night just because of the prednisone.
Oh my gosh! So you're wired.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always low on sleep, and then I fall asleep on weekends and stuff. My wife gets mad because I'm taking a nap in the middle of the day.
So you have like swings.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been on prednisone for the last 1.5 years, and that stuff does not let you sleep at night.
Well, let me ask you something. Prednisone has the ability to make you somewhat of a prickly pear to deal with emotionally.
I was already like that.
So there was no change seen. It's like, all right, well, he's the same guy.
I'm a very unpleasant person normally.
Oh, you seem pretty nice on the phone, but I guess it's the people that see you in real life.
Even my wife doesn't like me.
She's one of them gluttons for punishment,
She tolerates me.
You like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, man? Random. But,
well, I mean, yeah, they're all right.
Well, I was thinking about the song Aeroplane. I like pleasure, spike with pain. That really reminds me of you now. Yeah. Well, Brandon, I'm gonna let you go, man, because you need to finish your job and go home. And
yeah, my wife called me twice already.
Yeah, we'll call your wife, and but I'm glad you called, and tell Bruce I say hello. He seems great.
Bruce is a good guy, but yeah, then I was supposed to go meet at a finishing place that we're doing some work at. I was supposed to go meet the owner guy tonight because I'm doing work on Friday. I got to go out there and hook up a makeup air unit. Yeah, I ain't never gonna make it out there now.
Yeah, dude. It was 4:20 your time, I guess, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and how much longer do you have where you're at?
45 minutes at least.
Yeah.
By the time I fire the furnace up and stuff.
Yeah, and for those of you who rise at 4:30, it's starting to feel a little bit long in the tooth, probably.
Well, I didn't get up at 4:30 today because today wasn't. Well, today was supposed to be a gym day, but I didn't want to go to the gym, so I didn't get up till 5:30.
Oh well, that's not a whole heck of a lot different. So I mean, I think it still applies. So. Yeah. All right, Brandon. I hear there. Oof. Go ahead and finish your job, dude, and try to get all your stuff done, and call back on the next show.
All right.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, talk to you later.
Bye. Good old Brandon. Brandon's like slaving away there trying to get everything finished. What's up, chat dudes? I had this whole chat thing supposed to pop up on the screen, but I don't know if, yeah, there it is right there. But it's too small, man. It's too small. Let me see if I can enlarge it just so we can kind of look at the chat together. Yeah, there we go. So here we have, they're talking about Blackstone grills, dual run capacitor. Oh yeah, a 40 plus 10 dual run capacitor. Yeah, that's pretty uncommon right there. Pretty uncommon. Let's see, Frylox is let's see, anything like that. Weaver says Cleveland area is all hard pipe to the furnace. 20 years ago, I bought a Wheeler Rex 6991 threader, does 1/2 through 1 inch, fits in a milk crate, has oil pump, cutter, and reamer. Great little machine. Hey, cool. I know they have like the rigid machines and stuff like that. People like them a whole lot. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Weaver. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to change this chat thing on the screen because it's hard for me to see. And I know there's different versions of this. We can make that better. We'll fix that before the next show, guys, out there. But I think I must go ahead and do our sponsor friend stuff. I'll take our chat box away until I can fix that. Maybe I can do it while we're running here. So I'm going to go over our sponsors. We have Refrigeration Technologies, refridgetech.com, as you can see on the screen here or listening in the podcast later. They make a variety of coil cleaners and other HVAC chemicals, such as the Wet Rag heat blocking compound and Viper spray gel, both for inhibiting heat transfer when you're brazing or soldering. You can find out more at refridgetech.com. You can also go to our next sponsor, which is TrueTechTools.com. They have refrigeration technology stuff. They have the NAVAC stuff we're going to talk about in just a minute. And they have a ton of other testing equipment that you can purchase, and you can get a discount by using our Shop Talk discount code. Please do that. That is a great way to support the show. It benefits us and lets True Tech Tools know that you listen to our show. EWC Controls got the BM Plus 3000. I need to make them a new slide. EWCcontrols.com. Just high quality forced air zoning products. Very dependable. Great customer service. We talked about that on last show. When you call into them, you talk to a human person that you can understand, and they will help you solve any issue that you have. But the good thing is EWC doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of issues, so you won't have to call them anyway. We got Company Cam, the only app every contractor needs. Document your jobs, communicate with your crews, cover your company's butt. CompanyCam.com. Really, cover your company's butt. Having this service does just that. You can see on the screen there, if you're watching on YouTube, they have the pictures of the guys on the job sites. They can catalog what they're doing. They can record things that they need to refer back to later in case there is a disagreement or a stronger disagreement where you might have to have a lawyer. It's nice to have some pictures and documentation. That's what Company Cam gives you. Go to CompanyCam.com. You can find out all about that. We have our buddies at NAVAC. Hey, I did make a new slide for NAVAC. The break-free cordless vacuum pumps have the MP2 DLM 2 CFM battery powered with the 5 amp hour battery. Break-free cordless vacuum pump NP4 DLM with the 9 amp hour battery. You can swap the batteries, but I do not suggest using the 4 with a 5 amp hour battery because it probably only lasts about half an hour. With a 9 amp hour battery on the 4 or with the 5 on the 2, you get about an hour of runtime. My suggestion, make sure you have 2 batteries. So you can definitely alternate back and forth if you have to go longer than an hour. The good news is for most of the smaller stuff, you won't have to go longer than an hour. You'll be good to go. And that's what this stuff is designed for. They have a series of corded pumps too. And I do believe they're coming out with an adapter or have come out with an adapter that allows you to plug in these 2 pumps as well. You can find this stuff at True Tech Tools as well. Use that same Shop Talk discount code. And last but not least, we have Yellow Jacket Turbo Recover Recovery Machine. Brand new stuff. I don't know a whole lot about it. It's the one that I'm going to unpack here, but it's brand new and has the DC motor, and I will research it a little bit more. But I just want to give you guys a first look, and I'm thinking that's already out, unless I'm mistaken. It should be already out. I'm not positive, but we'll continue to show you these new products from all of our sponsors, like this machine, like the NAVAC Power Swage. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out now, and Yellow Jacket is no exception. Now, those who are watching on YouTube, you see on the screen, there are some notifications that you will see. We have super chat notifications. If you want to support the show by super chatting, which is a little dollar symbol, you can donate to the show during the live stream, which is really awesome, and I would thank you for that. That's awesome. and you will appear on the screen whenever that happens. Just like the olden days where I had the little video of my son doing like the money symbol whenever someone does that. Just like the old days. It was still stored in Streamlabs, thank goodness. All those files, so I was able to re-access those. I will fix it, and I probably can do it on the fly here. Let me see if I can do it on the fly. I bet I can. We just continue talking. I'll look at the chat here in a second. I want to make it so you guys can see it because I want you to be able to follow along, especially when we're talking about comments. Sometimes you want to watch the full screen video, but you don't want to have to shift away from that so you can see the live chat. So if we're talking about a comment, I would love to have it on the screen so you guys could see it. And our StreamYard stuff was not working properly. So that was not happening. And it's only going to take me a second. See if I can BS my way through the rest of this conversation while I get that. Which is what I'm doing. Now I'm going to try to remember what it is that I was doing. Oh yeah, chat box. All right, let me just adapt it a little bit right here. All I have to do is put a little background on it, I think. I don't know. This is probably not the best time to figure this out, but I did want to change it so you guys could see it. And for some reason, oh, I think we got it here boxed. And I will do that. Save settings. And I think that will work. Okay, let me see if it works now, guys. Thank you for your patience on that one. There's the call now. Oh, look at Clint. See, there's a symbol right there, and you appear on the screen at the top, right up there. See Clint Glasgow. If you become a subscriber, you'll see that you became a subscriber. So that's my last 2 subscribers. And then you have Clint Glasgow up there with the donation. So thank you, Clint. Big time supporter. I really do appreciate it. That's awesome. So the chat box itself, I don't know. There it is. Want to try the Discord thing? We can try the Discord thing. I would love it. I should have made like a video that I could play while we got hooked up on Discord, and I can probably do that real quick. But what he's talking about is I have set up a Discord server that some of our HVAC guys, especially when they want to chit-chat together. And, in fact, Benko, let's wait till the next one because I know I'm going to have to test it out a little bit. But if you're hanging around a little bit later, we can test it out. I'll tell you that much. That'd be really, really helpful. So you can see the chat on the screen, hopefully a little bit better. I can make that slightly larger for you guys if we need to. And we'll try the Discord thing as far as for interviewing and stuff, maybe on the next show. That would be probably a little bit better so we don't waste any time. I will tell you guys that you can call in now. Oh, see, there it is. It's working. Fantastic. Very good. All right. T-Lex says, did they run it off a long extension guard that was not 10 gauge but smaller? They're talking about something else completely, I think, in the chat. And Frylock is talking about the 12 CFM pump. Oh, he said the 12 CFM NAVAC pump took a dump on a Monday and wouldn't start up. Pretty disappointed. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder if the 12 CFM NAVAC pump has a start capacitor on the top of it or something like that you could check. Because I would be pretty interested in that. In fact, let's take a look and see if they do have a 12 CFM with the... Because a lot of those things, they have like either a start or run capacitor. Oh, here we go. We got a call in here. All right. Are you on the air? Maybe. I don't know if you're on the air or not. It says Frylock is here, but I can't hear him. Frylock, where are you? Nope. Nothing there. Sorry. Call me on your regular phone because that wasn't working. Frylock's trying to use the Discord audio, and it just wasn't happening. So I wanted to look up and see, and we'll see if he calls in, which he can on his regular phone, because we can use video on Discord, which I was referring to. So I want to see if they have, and I'll let you guys see it as well. Let's see. There we go. I'm looking over here to see if we can find the white whale. There's the vacuum pumps, and see what it looks like. Now that... it says it's 12 CFM. That's 16. Which one is it, dude? Is it the 12 CFM one? Because there's the ammonia one right here. Let's check the 12 CFM. Because I don't think you can do anything. I don't see anything that you could do about that as far as working on it in the field. No, because sometimes you'll see like a run cap mounted to the top of these motors on some of these devices. And I don't see anything on this one right here. I know some of the other vacuum pumps I had it where you could take some screws off and look at it. But I guess that's not going to happen with the 12 CFM. Oopsie daisies. Which is kind of a bummer, actually. It kind of sucks. What's up, old handy Luke? T-Leg says, did they run it off a long extension guard that was not extension cord? That's what he was talking about. That's what I read earlier. So you can check and see, because if you have a really long extension cord or too small of an extension cord, it will affect what you've plugged in. And I know that because I've run some pretty long extension cords before. And it does cause a loss of voltage. And it's just like, I'll give you an example of this. I had a drill, and I think we have Bimco coming in the line here. Let's see. You were on the air.
Hey, I didn't know you answered the Discord call. I didn't hear anything, and I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, I said something, and I answered the call because it comes in just like a FaceTime audio call or something like that. But
Yeah.
it just wasn't. I couldn't hear anything. So I guess because you weren't saying anything.
I was not. I was just like standing in the front yard, just staring around at the trees.
I'm gonna get that figured out as far as Discord, because they said Discord was a really good way to have like the video chats and stuff.
It is, because you can do all kind of cool stuff, screen sharing and all kind of. It's cool.
We'll get it.
I'll help you figure it out.
Oh yeah, that would be great, because I need a volunteer that's semi-familiar with Discord, because I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'll help you get it hooked up. But yeah, dude, that white pump, we popped open the top, and there is a start and a run cap. They both checked out good, and it would spin. You could see the fan on the back of the motor. It'd do like one or so revolutions, and then nothing. It's like something between the motor and the actual pump itself is seizing up or binding. Not sure.
So when you have like the motor for these pumps, is the fan and the motor driven by the same, or the pump itself and the fan driven by the same motor?
As far as yeah. So it's just like you'd see on like bigger condenser fan motors, especially 3-phase, where they've got just a kind of fan blade attached to the back of it, like an air over cooling. You know, where the body of the fan motor is kind of like a big heat sink.
Yeah, right. I got you. Which pump is it?
Over.
Which one is it? Is it a 16 CFM? Because I see a 16. I don't see a 12.
No, it is the 12, but it's a white one.
They must not make the 12 like the white one anymore. They just do a 16, I guess.
Maybe. It says 12 on the thing, but the model number is like a blah 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 16. So I thought it was a 16, but
maybe
it says 12.
Okay, well I'm clicking on this thing. Let's say it's the industry-leading ultimate vacuum down to 3 microns, and it is the white whale.
It will get there too, I promise. We did a blank off on it, and it got there.
It's
So
12
like
CFM too, so you're right.
Yeah, we were pretty impressed with it, but I only got to use it one time after I swapped a compressor on a City Multi. I mean, it pulled down to like 40 overnight, so that was pretty cool.
And you sent me the cool picture yesterday too about the chiller.
Oh yeah, somebody else got to go brush those tubes this morning.
Yeah, okay. So you didn't have to do that. So you pulled the head off of it, looked at it, and said, "All right, we're done for today."
Yeah, we just busted the head off of it and just kind of wanted to take a look at it, see what the condition was.
Yeah.
And somebody else got to go do the fun part while I was piping in an expansion tank at a different site.
Oh man, so why didn't you get to go back and is that really fun though? Are you being sarcastic? Because it seems like that would suck.
With one that looks like that, yeah, it would have sucked. Because that was a lot of like the flakes on there were hard. There's lots of hard scale buildup. Those things haven't been cleaned in a long time. It doesn't look like. That was at a high school in San Antonio. And they've got, I think, 3 of those machines in there. And
they all look like that probably then, right?
Probably, yeah. We took one of the anodes out of the other side of that condenser barrel and poked a little inspection camera inside there. And you can see all kind of, fill from the tower. And I think they found one of the tube brushes stuck in there. And when we took that anode out, the whole anode fell off of the plug that it's attached to. So it's in there. So we're going to take the pipes off of the other side of the condenser barrel, which is not something you typically do, and kind of clean that stuff up.
So there's like crap that broke off that's sitting inside this thing.
Yes.
That's pretty funny. So
it sucks though. It's not good for the machine.
No, it sounds like something that'd be bad for the machine. But
yeah,
I'm trying to imagine it because I've never worked on anything like that. And you're just like, I'm gonna check this thing out. And all of a sudden, the crap just breaks off in there. It says, all right, we'll just leave it. It's fine. There's other tubes they can use. We don't need this one tube. That'll be fine.
Oh yeah, well, there's several that were plugged up. looks like. And if the outside of it looks like that, then the inside of those tubes aren't probably not any better.
Oh man. Well, that's a sexy job. Hey, you know what? That's great for your Instagram, man. You can put it on Instagram and say, look at this piece of crap. And then people are like, wow, I'm going to like that picture. That's wild.
Yeah, but I didn't get to brush the tube, so it's like a teaser. I don't have any other photos of that thing.
Oh, I see you're sending me photos right now. You're such a multitasker.
You know, I should put those in Discord. You could probably just screen share that if you wanted, huh?
I could screen share that. Actually, I could.
You can see I put pictures of us checking the capacitors and everything.
Let's see what's happening over there in Discord, because all the older techs are like, what is a Discord? I don't know either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open it up. Oh, yep. I think I hit the right button. I'm just like the older techs. I don't know what I'm doing over here.
But yeah, we were gonna use it on this carrier, kind of a baby chiller in the realm of chillers, but it's an air cooled. It's called an Aqua Snap. I don't know the tonnage. It's either a 60 or like a 75. I hadn't looked up how to decipher their model numbers, but we did.
I'm looking at it right now for the
two
lucky
compressors
people on
on it.
YouTube, but we can see the tubes there with the crap coming off the end of them. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because we've been doing a whole bunch of other stuff and not brazing for a while. You know, it'd probably been a couple. I don't know. It'd been a little while since we brazed, and we were so bad at it. We had to fix like 8 different joints, dude, like multiple times. It was awful. It was so awful.
Hey,
We didn't leave there and get that thing on the pump and take off till like 9:30 that night.
I think it's great that you will admit that, because so many people won't admit that. Like if they came back to braze like, I'm not using enough heat, or like it's a larger pipe than they were used to or something, and they didn't heat it enough and they got turds all over it or something. I mean, most people just omit that from any story. That's why I like you, Bemco.
We had said, you know, we got everything, you know, fitted up and all that good stuff and everything clean, ready to braze. And we got 2 compressors, and I was like, well, we should have a little competition with Dustin, my coworker. And it's like, all right, well, which one do you want? We rock, paper, scissors for left versus right. And we both suck. It turned out. And it's like, well, I think I got these. And all right, well, you got those. And well, will you fix mine? Well, shit, will you fix mine? And we just kind of ended up going back and forth. And we're like, well, yeah, we're not gonna show anybody any of this. It's not good.
Hey, but we're looking at 2 compressors on the screen right now, so I guess you are showing somebody.
Yeah, a little bit, but you can't see them welds.
Hey, wait a second. I'm gonna use our snipping tool here on my internet and see if I can't zoom in.
Yeah.
Just to bust your chops, because I don't even work with compressors near that size. Never have. So I mean, I wouldn't even be able to do anything. All right, I saved it. I'm gonna see what I can do here. I'm gonna take it off the screen though, so I don't give away all
It
the
won't let me
desktop icons.
do any more. It says my files are too powerful. The max file size 8 megabytes.
Your files are too powerful. I mean, that's nice. I'm gonna bring up your picture though. So
Discord Nitro shite.
There's more content coming. Don't be afraid. It'll be all right. You got all that. Hey, we can go through your Instagram and find all the cool pictures.
Nah, I don't post too much on there, and not like I used to.
All right, here. I don't know if I bet. Oh yeah, we
I
can.
just don't care anymore.
Oh my gosh, we can zoom in on this. Poor podcast people don't even know what's going on. Well, the lucky thing is that most of the people listen to the podcast, so they won't be able to see this. They'll just hear us groaning about it. Oh wow! Look at.
Oh
that.
yeah. No, we just had a lot of boogers, man, and I don't know. It's kind of awkward spots. So where the suction bends out of the compressor and starts going to the back, we had cut, and we just did couplings there, and then same thing with the discharge line, and I don't know, just went too fast or wasn't focusing something, because we're using the orange rods, the 56 on the actual compressor ports, and then just regular 15 on the others. So, and a big old fat rosebud tip, and we fluxed all the joints and everything. It should have been easy breezy, but it was not.
All right. Well, I would like to ask you then. There's the pictures right there. I mean, I think we've all done stuff like that, so that's no different than anyone else. But I mean, so why can't you use 15% at the compressor joint? Will it not take?
No, it will. It's just if you end up, so they're copper plated steel, And so what happens is, number one, that steel is going to absorb a lot of the heat, and you risk getting them too hot and you burn the copper plating off. And so you end up having to use 56 anyway. So
Oh,
we just used
interesting.
56 to begin with.
So what made you flux? You fluxed even the ones that had 15% on them?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it makes for a prettier joint, but if you use too much, it can kind of fight you because that flux is trying to move around and it ends up pushing your solder out. Kind of the same thing like when you soft solder. You don't use too much flux.
It gets everywhere.
Yeah, and then you have a hard time, filling the joint because that flux gets trapped in there between the pipes and it's trying to go out where you're trying to get solder in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I had to learn that the hard way too with all that water source stuff we were doing at that other building.
Yeah, it's hey, you got the Milwaukee fuel down there, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And you got the socket, and man, we can see everything. Got your sandpaper.
Oh,
Man.
dude, we had so much crap up there. It was awful. And then, of course, there's like one run of conduit that is right there by the corner where we need to move around and get those compressors in. So we couldn't just dolly it like straight in. It was a pain. So we're moving the A-frame around and trying to manhandle these giant compressors.
What
So
size
heavy.
were they again?
What's that?
What size were they?
They're at least 25 ton a piece. They're at least that much,
Oh,
but
they
I
must
didn't really
be
pay
huge.
too close attention to it. I didn't set any of that stuff up.
Man, out of my league.
But, well, and I've done on some other units before, two 25 tons that were tandem together like that, or similar to that rather, and they're about that size. So I figure they're at least that much. I mean, they're massive.
Yeah, they look pretty huge. Look, the kind you need that compressor tote for those, right?
No, we used got some shackles, and we had a conduit bender that we ran through there so we could kind of team lift it up and over the conduit. And we did everything else with the A-frame and the chain hoist and all that, or chain fall.
Nice. Taking care of yourself. That's good for later life. That's good.
Oh yeah, no, I refuse to lift heavy stuff anymore. I hate it.
Hey, I'm we get past a certain age, you're like, all right, well, the proving is finished, and now I'm just going to try to skate by with as little pain as possible.
Oh yeah, dude, I want to get out of the field ASAP. Like I thought I wanted to do chiller stuff, started doing chiller stuff, and it's like, this stuff's way heavier.
Oh yeah, it's probably interesting, like the novelty of it's bigger, you got different controls.
Oh yeah,
But then you
yeah,
know,
don't get me
it's-
wrong,
yeah.
it is cool and interesting and neat to look at and work on and talk about and all that good stuff. But man, everything's so heavy.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, man. So you're already deciding and looking for your next gateway to the next level, whatever that is.
I don't know. I'm thinking about leaning more towards controls, but then every time I get a taste of that, I'm like, ugh, don't know anywhere near what the actual controls guys know. But I know that's part of the gig.
Yeah.
It's so much to learn because you've got so many different languages and platforms from back in the 80s moving on up. Like a lot of places, they don't update that very often as far as going from older versions of controls up to newer ones.
Yeah,
Like we still see a lot of places with pneumatics, and
interesting. Yeah,
yeah, actually that school uses pneumatics actuators on their valves, like at the cooling tower and chill water lines.
now that's is that something you have a lot of experience with?
Pneumatics, no.
Yeah, because it's not something you hear about very often. I'm trying to remember who was on the show talking about that at one point. It might have been Tom Powell. Do you remember who he is?
Negative.
He went to go work at Daikin. He was in the field for a long time, but now he actually works at Daikin. So I can see that since he came from your same area of the field, you could see that he gravitated toward leaving the field and going to work at a manufacturer. So it kind of solidifies your point of, I got to get out of here. These things are heavy.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
He's a smart guy too. He's a cool guy. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Actually, gotta go find him. He's a smart guy, just like you, Bemco. You're heading that direction.
I'm okay.
Yeah, but
I'm all
that's,
right.
yeah, you're halfway through the journey to where you're talking about. Like you don't know as much as a controls guy because you're not a controls guy yet. but you
not,
can be, and
but
you
I'll
will know.
fake it till I make it.
Hey, that's what I'm
I
saying.
have been poking around a little bit, where it looks like I know what I'm doing, sort of.
I'm sure you do just fine. Like I said, you just get trained on something.
No, it's you just nobody knows though. I just I set up the laptop and tie in, and then I call our controls people up in Austin to get on TeamViewer, and then they just fly through all the everything. I'm like, wait, I didn't catch that part.
Oh,
They're just like clicking this, clicking that, and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, what did you just do there?
that's frustrating. So, do you have the opportunity to take some training on controls, or just any training at all?
Yeah, oh, for sure. So our company actually does like in-house trainings pretty much every Tuesday or every other Tuesday. And so they'll set it up and they'll also stream it since they do it at the shop in Austin. We can just get on it, and it's kind of just how we're doing now. You know, it's on Zoom or Teams or whatever, and we can get some training. It just sucks though when they do like hands-on things, like they did a brazing class, which I probably could have used as a little refresher.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of funny.
A few weeks ago. You know, doing copper to copper and copper to steel, copper to brass, all that good stuff, aluminum, and then just a lot of other little technical things. They'll do BMS overviews and controls overviews and electrical diagnostics and stuff like that.
Well, that's a good opportunity then. That's really
Yeah,
nice.
and I'm going to a city multi service and install course week after next. I don't know, 20th, 21st, something like that.
Well, that's great then. I mean, that's where the future's at right there. So getting into that area is probably pretty wise.
Mm-hmm.
You can be one of the experts that comes on the show and talks about expert crap, and I'm like, hey, yeah, that's true, and I don't know what I don't know what he's talking about, but I just say that.
Yeah. No, and it was super intimidating when we first went to that building, you know, and they've got that's all they have there, is the City Multi VRF, and it there's a ton of it, you know, 11 stories with three systems on each floor kind of thing. And I'd never looked at them like that before and never tied into them, you know, so that was a whole learning experience for sure. But I feel a lot better about it now, a lot more comfortable than I was.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes getting your hands dirty a little bit, I guess. Get comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good saying right there. I get my hands dirty. I'm in the trades, man. I'm in the trades. But, you know, you're in the trades, but you use a computer all day, just like the people that aren't in the trades.
Exactly, yeah.
Weird.
That's like, I remember one of the guys from the refrigeration radio podcast. What did they call it? HVAC radio.
I know what you're saying. It's the guys like Ulysses and the gang, right?
Yeah. Those guys, yeah. Well, I remember one of them had left his company and went to work with, I don't remember who, maybe Daikin or somebody. No, he went to like Texas Air Systems or something. But anyway, he was looking at, you know, VRF equipment all the time. But he was like, dude, I hate it. I carry around a laptop all day. I tie into it, do a little troubleshooting. It basically tells me what's wrong, and then I quote it, and somebody else gets to come back and fix it. He's like, I hate it. I think he left after a couple of weeks and went back into doing refrigeration again.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, there's a lot of fulfillment with fixing, so I can sympathize.
Yeah. For sure.
And I think it was Ulysses. I don't know which guy it is you're talking about, but I know it was Ulysses. But that HVACR rookie was on that podcast, and I know Cameron Conley was on that podcast.
Ruben's the other guy.
Ruben, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Ruben.
Actually, used to play Call of Duty with him sometimes.
No kidding, it's a small world.
Yeah, well, they're just right up in Dallas.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They're y'all in the same neighborhood, Texas.
Yeah,
a small neighborhood.
For TD Industries, and that was the first company I started at.
Look at that. What are the odds of that?
It is. It's a small industry, you know, and I find a lot of people still, you'll talk about like so-and-so's doing this now and this, and you see them at supply houses and everywhere else, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like people just never lose touch with each other. It feels like, as long as they stay in the trade, you know?
Yeah, and they go to all the shindigs, you know, they go to all the meet and greets, the trade shows and stuff. All these people are part of
all
a group.
The salespeople things that techs don't get to go to.
Oh, no, there's the tech ones too. What do they call these like HVAC Excellence, AHR and stuff. Well, I guess you got both at AHR.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all these places that they have like technical things as well. And all these guys, they know each other.
That's true.
You could be part of it. You get your job at, whatever, Mitsubishi, LG or whatever. You do VRF specialist, you know which computer to plug in, I guess is what the specialty is. Like, not that computer, not the Chromebook. Get the other one. We'll plug it in.
Chromebook seems like half worthless. It's like, comes with 8 megabytes of memory.
Yeah.
Everything's on the cloud. Good luck.
Yeah.
But they're only like $200, so.
Yeah, you can get a Chromebook for like 70, $80 certain times a year. It must be awful.
They're just a big phone with a keyboard and a screen. That's all they are.
That's what I'm saying, man. The Chromebook's $80, and why is the iPhone $1,000?
I know. Because I hold like my $1,000 iPhone. Yeah,
I like it. I'm using mine right now.
But $30 a month, it hurts a lot less.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you want to break it up over 1,000 years? Yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah. Insurance? No.
Who needs no insurance?
Too much. $5 more a month is too much.
Yeah, I dropped it in the OtterBox store.
Break my phone. Yeah. I never drop it off a ladder accidentally.
I haven't broken a phone since I can remember. I don't even remember if I've ever. I know I've broken phones before because it's just, it's logical that I would have broke one, but I don't remember breaking one where I was like, oh no.
I haven't, but my fiance has gone through a few.
Yeah, for some reason, women chuck them things at walls and stuff. I think it's because they're emotional creatures that get angry and they throw stuff.
Yeah.
Like, these are the people that throw cups at other people.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I know where my 7-year-old gets it. He likes to chunk the Xbox controller across the room every now and then.
I don't know. I think that might be different because when I was a kid, I played Nintendo because it was 1985, and I remember playing the game Tecmo Super Bowl, and I broke 2 controllers when I had interceptions that I threw. I mean, I split them in half because I was just so angry.
Yeah, he just hulked them into pieces.
It was like, how did this even happen? Like, I can't even lift the Nintendo by myself. I'm so little, but I broke this controller. How did this happen? Adrenaline.
Just a hoss.
Yeah.
Day one.
I was unstoppable. I was like the Hulk there for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, but if Warren Moon can't complete a pass, that's BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's his fault. You broke the controller.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
But hey, I wanted to say I noticed you've got some panel up over your insulation now since the last time I saw it.
Yeah, I was putting some on the ceiling actually right before I got started here. Got about half of it done, but I'm trying to make it so all the sound dampening is gone out of my building because I'm a podcast host. That makes sense.
just keep putting up panel till you get the echo back.
It's back, man. It's like makes me paranoid. It's like I'm gonna fix it, but I might be hanging bed sheets behind me just to take away everything professional and bring it back down to the worst possible backdrop possible. Old bed sheets.
Heck yeah.
It'll work. Yeah. It'll work.
That looks great.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Bimco. And I think it's
just want to let you know I noticed.
Well, I appreciate that.
Working hard.
If your grandmother has any sheets that she doesn't need, I mean, I'd prefer to use something that looks like it's from Pilgrim time period, just to maximize the effect that I'm going for. That would be great.
For sure.
That would be great. So,
yeah, I mean, all those styles come back eventually.
Yeah, not all of them.
But no, that made me think about how I also noticed today. So the cooling tower at this place with all the water source heat pumps, we have been having an issue with our water level in the basin of this tower, and I kept moving it's an electronic sensor, and it sits inside this PVC pipe, and it's U-bolted to this bracket, blah, blah. I've dropped it down as low as I can, but the thing still had like a steady, slow drip out of the drain from the overflow. And so I had done all this stuff. I had moved it down like a little bit further. I was like, that's as good as it gets. Well, just walking by it earlier today, and I seen our basin drain was just cocked open just a little. I'm doing all this stuff trying to figure out what's going on. It's just the damn drain was open, just enough.
Sometimes it's simple things.
Yeah. So I kicked it closed and broke the handle. I did, but I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the feeling when you spend like 3 hours looking for something, like a low voltage short, for example, and then you just look down and you see that the 2 wires are just bare right next to your leg.
Right in front of your face. Yeah. It's like I've had to fix my dryer like 3 times in the last couple of weeks. It's been awful because I got to pull it out of the wall and all that good stuff.
Your clothes dryer?
Huh?
Your clothes dryer?
Yeah, a clothes dryer at my house. Yeah, which is absolutely all I want to do when I get home from work. And but I gotta have my clean clothes, man. And so I pull it out and I open it up. First thing I see, melted wire nut, shorted it out to the back panel, tripped the breaker. I was like, oh yes, an easy
score.
one.
Yeah, score.
And I can finally put back in that new thermal fuse that I had bypassed a couple of weeks ago. The other time I fixed it.
Oh dear.
I ordered new ones. I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's not hurting anything. But I just tell her, I was like, just don't run the dryer when nobody's home, okay?
So you're that guy. You're the high limit bypass guy.
No, I will not bypass a high limit switch. All right.
Sounds like you would.
No, because they've got limit switches in there. It's just a little electric heat kit, like a 1.5K or something.
I've replaced them myself in the back of my dryer.
That's awful. Sounds terrible. But there's I see there's 2 limit switches in this one, and that resettable fuse runs to the blower or something. I don't know. It's old, and the diagram's like disintegrating in my hands. So, but
you're
works.
Successful.
It's fine.
You did it.
And she's not even like proud of me for doing it. I'm like, look, I just fixed this ancient appliance. We don't have to buy a new one, and
they don't care. They don't care.
Like, be impressed,
I feel the exact same way. I mean, when I put the stupid wall panels in here, they're not even done very well. But I wanted my wife to come out here and say, wow, this is the greatest wall panel installation I've ever seen.
Incredible. Yeah.
I even told her, I said, just come out here and lie. She wouldn't even come out here and lie. She's like, no, I'm not going out there.
Oh, she wouldn't even come look at it still?
We've been married for a while, Bimco. She doesn't even, it's like, no, really? I mean, I'm not playing this game anymore. I said, but look at the building. I built this thing from scratch. It's the truth. And she doesn't care. So, whatever. My search is for finding people to tell me how great I am at building, although I didn't follow any codes and skip some major steps.
Yeah, it's okay. No harm, no foul. No
but as you see,
game.
It's okay in here, and the cooling system works, and that's great.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
I had to go. So we put in a dual zone Frederick mini split over at my mamaw's house. It's like a stepmom's house, garage converted into an apartment, basically, over at my parents' place. And we threw this thing in a few years ago. It's been great. Well, it's finally, no cooling. All right. Go over there. Sure enough, it's low. You want to find the leak? No, man, just throw some gas in. It took 2 years for it to leak out. I was like, okay, threw like 3 pounds in it. It's fine.
3 pounds. That's like everything in there.
Well, there's no leak at the condenser, at the flare connection. So I was like, man, that means it's in one of the indoor units, and I was like, you sure she didn't hang a picture and puncture a line or something? I was like, well, probably not, because it probably would have blown the whole charge pretty quick. But one of those indoor unit flares is definitely going to be leaking. And it sucks too, and I hate to say this, but I nylogged them too. And I can just hear, what's his name in the background?
Who, Ralph? Talking about nylog?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can hear him now.
I put nylog on mine the other day.
I told you so, yeah. But he said, you don't need it, not on a good flare. And I totally cut off factory flares and make new ones,
I made a video of this mini split install. I purposely used a factory flares just so I could get some comments to let me know that I was wrong.
Did you leave a coil up additional 10 foot that's left over and just coil it right there by the condenser?
No, I didn't do that.
To show it off?
I didn't do that because I brazed the indoor unit. I cut the flares off and brazed the indoor unit.
I thought about doing that when we put it in, but I nixed it.
But that's okay. Did you put in the wall mount heads?
Put in what?
The wall mount ones?
Yeah, they're wall mount.
Oh, so you could have cut them off. I was imagining cassettes or something.
No, not cassettes. No. Hell no. Those are even more of a pain in the butt, I feel like.
They cost more.
I don't know. They do, that too.
Mama's got a budget.
Mama's what?
Mama's got a budget. She didn't get no cassettes unless they're cassette tapes for the music on
them. Those are making a little comeback too. I've got a few from last year that I've been buying from the bands I listen to, putting out records again and cassette tapes. I was like, yeah, okay, because they're only $4. It's like, all right.
Yeah, those records definitely came.
I don't have a cassette player, so this is a great collector's item, I guess.
I need a cassette player. I have tons of cassettes because I come from the time period, but I haven't had a cassette player in probably 7-8 years.
Right on. Yeah, we found one at a garage sale or estate sale, whatever the heck you can call it. And it's one of those combination like old Magnavox with the record player on top, 2 decks on the bottom, you know, and the tuner is built in as well. They're pretty big.
Yeah.
And well, the 2-year-old found those tape decks. He figured out which button's the eject button, so he opens it up and then he just grabs the door and rips it off. So neither one of those tape decks has a little door anymore.
That's a bummer.
Like, well, there's $15 down the drain. Yeah, I played the tapes like once. I was like, yeah, this sounds awful. I'm gonna go back to Spotify.
Yeah, they didn't have as good sound as the CDs do, or the MP3s.
Yeah. But even your digital media, anything you got saved on a hard drive, it deteriorates over time, like a minuscule amount, but it does. It's a whole thing.
I can't tell.
You lose like 9 or 12 or something kilobytes a year off the quality of it.
For real? Is that legit?
For real. That's a real thing, dude. Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. Data degradation. I don't know what they call it really, but it sounds good.
Degradation sounds good.
It does, right?
Yeah, they get
Fancy words in
degraded.
there sometimes.
Yeah. They've been highly degraded over this last year with the kilobytes.
Yeah. I got a buddy of mine in New York. He's a controls guy. He just started with training like a couple months ago, and he put on one of his stories. He's trying to figure out where the floppy disk goes in his laptop. Well, I mean, he was trolling, but he's like shoving it all over the side of it.
Hey, I
What do I
remember
do
that
with
stuff.
this?
We had to use those in school, man. We used to save all of our stuff on those stupid floppy disks that were like, I think it was like 8 kilobytes of storage.
They hold 3.5 megabytes.
I think
I'm pretty sure.
Well, there's different ones, you know. They have different size ones. They had the little
Really?
ones. And the little, yeah, there was different size. I thought it was kilobytes. Maybe it was megabytes. I don't know. It's small.
Yeah.
Either way, it was small.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, well, I mean, you could just get a computer that works and print out all the information and probably take up 1 full page at most. So
Yeah.
I said, or you just ask him for the Laserdisc equivalent, easier format to work with.
I know what you're talking about. Laser discs? I don't know what you're talking about.
Laserdisc, really? That's even before floppies. I'm pretty sure they didn't last very long though.
The laser
They're
disc.
giant.
The
They're like the
floppies.
size of a vinyl record,
Bimco,
but shiny like a CD.
did you know that they were storing information on hard drives even back in the 1940s?
Oh, sure. Hard drives were giant though, weren't they?
Yeah, they were like huge drums, these hard drives. It blew my mind when I read that. I was like, how is that even possible? I don't even understand how this works, how this can be possible, that inside of my computer is all this information. I'm not picturing like this giant library stuffed into a box. I'm just really like wondering, is it really just a whole bunch of zeros and ones lined up in different rows?
Yeah, me, dude.
Oh, I thought you knew.
Any of it.
Oh,
Like I remember when digital cameras first started getting, you know, more mainstream, and the memory cards, you know, they were expensive. Like for like a 8, gigabyte card or whatever, you pay like over $100.
yeah. And the camera was 2 megapixels.
Yeah, now they give them out in Happy Meals and McDonald's. No big deal. Here you go.
That's legit true. There's like memory cards come with everything now. I have like a pile of memory cards over here on my table. I don't even remember what's on them. Probably something important. But
Well,
yep.
30 minutes feels like long enough. We'll work on the Discord thing later. Just hit me up.
Yeah, man, that sounds good. I need someone to test with, and you're the man for the job, so I appreciate it.
Woohoo!
Yeah, you've been selected. Drafted, if you will.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, go back inside the house and talk to your family. Or whatever. Mow the grass, whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna pick up all these leaves out here one at a time.
Well,
It'll be a while.
I understand, and good luck, sir.
All right. See you later, Zach.
Take it easy, man. Bye.
Goodbye.
There's our buddy Bimco right there. He's a lot of fun. So, yeah, there's Discord. If you want to get on Discord, I don't think I put the information in the description of the video, but it's the HVAC Shop Talk podcast server. If you want to join up, you can always email me and I'll send it to you. Or if you have my phone number, you can text me and I'll send it to you. But I'm going to try to use Discord for doing some of the interviews because my StreamYard stuff kept failing to recognize my camera and my microphone. And sometimes when more than one application tries to access these things, it goes haywire. So Discord seemed to work pretty well. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Discord. I'm going to wrap this thing up, guys. Throw a like on the video if you enjoy the video. You can always follow me at Subscribe Star. That would be awesome. So you can do that. That's in the description of the video. What else? Comment on the video and listen to the podcast. If you have any questions, email me, hvacshoptalk@gmail.com. You can text me at the number on the screen right here. Let me put it up there. 910-970-0043. Text rates may apply. I always see people say that, so I'm going to say that too, just in case. Just a howdy to the final chatters there. We got the Dylan, Thomas, Steve, Randy, Raul, what's up? Thank you for tuning into the show. I really appreciate you listening and watching, whichever one you're doing. And I will see you guys on the next one. Please consider supporting me at subscribestar.com/Zach-Ciota. I offer my Subscribestar subscribers bonus content podcast as well as giveaways every single month for gift cards.